What's up, everybody? In one lifetime, the world went from horse-drawn carts to a phone in your pocket that talks to a satellite, and a deadly disease that once killed millions stopped by a single shot. That's Unit 9, Globalization, roughly 1900 to today. Here's your map. The technology that rewired daily life, an economy that knit the whole planet together, the movements that fought for human rights, the new global culture, and the challenges pushing back. Stick with me to the very end, and I'll show you the single fastest way to lock all of this in before exam day. Let's go. Start with technology, because it drives this entire unit. 3 breakthroughs. The College Board wants you to know. 1. The Green Revolution. New high-yield seeds, fertilizers, and irrigation that massively boosted food production and fed a booming population, especially in places like India and Mexico. 2. Medical advances, vaccines, and antibiotics that wiped out diseases like smallpox and sent life expectancy soaring. 3. New energy and materials kept it all running. More food, longer lives, exploding population. Now hold that, because connecting all those people is the next leap. Now the communication revolution, and this is the big one. Cell phones, the internet, and satellites collapse distance to zero. Information that took weeks to cross an ocean now crosses it instantly. This shows up on the exam as the reason the world feels small. People, money, and ideas move faster than ever before. It powers global business, global activism, and a shared global culture. But here's the key cause and effect. This same network is the wire that makes the new global economy possible. So follow the money. Here's the economic engine, and you need 3 players. First, multinational corporations, companies like car and tech giants that operate across many countries, chasing cheap labor and new markets. Second, free trade agreements like NAFTA that knock down tariffs so goods flow freely. Third, the Bretton Woods institutions, set up after World War II, the IMF and the World Bank, later joined by the WTO to fund development and set the rules of global trade. Together they built one connected market, and one country played that market better than anyone. Watch the rise of the Asian economies, because this is a classic exam example. The biggest story is China. Under Deng Xiaoping, starting in the late 1970s, China kept its communist government, but opened up to market reforms and foreign investment. The result was explosive growth that lifted hundreds of millions out of poverty and turned China into a manufacturing powerhouse. Add the fast-growing economies of places like South Korea, and you get a major shift, the world's economic center of gravity tilting toward Asia. Now meet the new kind of economy this created. Quick, but important. As factories spread to developing nations, wealthy countries shifted into knowledge and service economies, where the money is in information, finance, software, and ideas, rather than making physical goods. Think tech companies, banks, and research instead of assembly lines. For the exam, picture a global division of labor. Some regions manufacture, others design and innovate, all wired together by that digital network. This is the modern economy in one sentence. Now let's turn from economics to the people fighting for rights. Now the great movements, and number them. 1. Human rights. In 1948, the United Nations issued the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, a global standard for how people should be treated. 2. Feminism pushed for women's rights, voting, education, and equality across the world. 3. The anti-apartheid movement in South Africa, where Nelson Mandela helped end the brutal system of racial segregation and became president. 4. Environmentalism rose to protect the planet. People used that new global network to organize across borders. Keep that energy, because it shaped global culture too. Here's how culture went global. Movies, music, sports, and brands spread worldwide, creating shared culture you can find on every continent. At the same time, migration surged, people moving for jobs, safety, and opportunity, building diverse multicultural societies and sending money back home in remittances. The exam wants the two-way street. Cultures blend and borrow from each other, but many groups also push back to protect local traditions and identity. Connection and resistance, side by side. And that tension leads straight into the challenges. Globalization brought real problems, so lock in 4. 1. Environmental challenges, climate change and pollution that cross every border. 2. Pandemics, diseases that spread worldwide along the same routes, goods and people travel. 3. Terrorism and conflict that disrupt the global order. 4. Economic inequality, because the benefits of all this growth were spread unevenly between and within nations. These are the costs the College Board pairs with the gains. So weigh both sides, that's exactly what the exam asks you to do. One more idea that ties it together. As the world integrated, many people pushed back, calling for more local control and autonomy. Some movements resisted global institutions and free trade deals, arguing they hurt local workers and erased local identity. Others demanded a stronger voice for their own nation or community. For the exam, the takeaway is balance. Globalization is powerful but contested, embraced by some and resisted by others. An interconnected world is not automatically a united one. Now let's bring the whole unit, and the whole course, home. And that's AP World Unit 9 Globalization. The Green Revolution and medical advances, the digital revolution, multinationals, and the Bretton Woods institutions, China's rise under Deng Xiaoping, the knowledge economy, human rights and Mandela, global culture and migration, and the challenges and pushback. You just finished the entire AP World History course. Seriously, that's huge. But watching is not the same as knowing. Head to AIM 5 and practice Unit 9 for free with instant feedback on every question. Links below. Now go get that 5. You earned it.